You know, they show up in the helmets and the black masks, and they've got clubs and everything. Antifa! Antifa!
Help the police! Help the police! Help the police!
Have been
Help the police! Help the police! Help the police! Help the police!
My interaction.
Help the police!
Bro, let him talk.
No.
So my name.
Help the police!
Talk. I want to hear
Let him
what.
talk. Let him talk. I'm recovering from complex PTSD.
In a stroller, get rushed by 10 riot cops on the sidewalk.
They shot.
May I ask you a question? How was your interaction with your dad?
Oh, fine.
Are you
What the
sure?
fuck does that have to do with anything?
Because I've never known a woman like you to yell at a grown man in his face.
Who cares? Who the fuck cares?
Women
You don't have
should
to
be
worry
seen
about
in
that.
I am down to
That's women.
I was there. I'm telling you, what is your opinion on that?
Uh-oh, he's getting strange.
No.
Don't troll the troll too
Why would
much.
I want to hit you?
Trolling.
I don't believe in violence against women.
Trolling.
But you believe in violence against men?
Apparently,
You guys want to engage?
Trolling the trolls.
Violence is okay if the police do it?
I like to spar in a ring with gloves.
Tell us the name of the gym.
I'll come spar.
Tell us the name of the gym.
Why don't we listen to his political opinion for a second, see what he has to say, then we can determine.
I want to know the name of this gym.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I vote for Gary Johnson.
I want to know the name of this
So
gym.
you're a libertarian.
You call us out. I
I'm
want to
an-
know the name of this gym.
Yeah. Can we set a professional boundary?
Sure.
I'd like to talk to you without someone yelling in my ear.
That's chill.
Like
Okay,
this
yeah.
idiot.
I work for him.
He's an idiot.
How's he an
He's
idiot?
a fucking idiot.
How?
He's a little neo-Nazi idiot.
So he's a
douchebag.
black neo-Nazi idiot. So he's a black neo-Nazi idiot douche.
He very well could be. He's definitely a fascist
How's he a fascist?
because he's an idiot.
Can you define fascism?
I wish you wouldn't come down to Portland and spread your hate, dude.
What hate?
Go back to Vancouver.
So what is hateful about believing that everybody has a right to believe whatever they want to believe? What is hateful about believing that every single person in this country is equal? What is hateful about believing that anybody has any right?
beautiful.
No, that's what I'm
Beautiful.
asking.
That's beautiful.
That's what I'm asking.
That's why you're an anti-gay, anti-Islam,
Anti-gay? Let me introduce you.
GOP.
Let me introduce you to my gay black employee
Oh, that's
who works
wonderful.
for me. So
You're
again, how am I
employee, huh?
anti-gay?
That's fantastic.
Yeah. How am I
Fantastic.
anti-gay?
That's-
Tell me what fascism is.
Totalitarian, you scapegoat people. You believe in ultranationalism? Absolutely, you scapegoat people. What do you think what Charlottesville was all about? What do you think all the rest of this stuff was all about? What do you think the stuff in Southeast Portland? What do you think Trump's all about? You're pro-Trump? Trump is a fascist? Trump is a fascist?
Did I vote for Trump?
I don't
Nope.
know.
I voted for a
You're-
guy named
yeah.
Scott Walker, as a matter of fact. He's
Yeah.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, that's
We're
what
here
we're
to
gonna
say
talk
that
about.
we stand for tolerance. We
Okay.
stand against bigots.
So
We
do
stand
we.
against
So do
intolerance.
we.
No, you don't.
Yes,
no,
I
you
do.
don't. You're lying through your teeth and
Not-
you
not
know
what
it.
to
You're
report the
standing with
news.
fascists. That makes you a fascist.
I'm here to report
You're standing
the
with
news.
fascists. That makes you a fascist.
I'm here to report the news, man.
That sucks.
That's it.
You're saying it's okay.
Because you're in America. If you don't like it, take your bags and this and leave the country. If you don't like it. You hate it so fucking much. That's the best you got. Best you got.
Knock it off.
This guy right here in the blonde just punched me in the face.
What are you gonna do, bitch? Hey, back the fuck up, bro. I'll treat you like a man. Personal property. That's what you want, right? You go right. You go.
I'm filming you.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Because you have a mask. Mask on, oh shit.
Hey,
bleeding. Yo. Hey, medic! He's bleeding. No, he's bleeding bad. He's bleeding bad. He's bleeding bad.
The ambulance is coming.
I don't even know. I think that big orange thing. I was just sitting there talking to some people, and then they threw this big orange thing. I think there's this big like traffic blocker thing, and then I was like keeping them from hitting the phone out of her hand.
The victim, in a red Sriracha hot sauce t-shirt, was playing peacemaker and trying to break up a confrontation. Police say the U-Lock attacker is this man, 28-year-old Eric Clanton, a former part-time professor at Diablo Valley College. A campus spokesman says among the philosophy classes he taught included Introduction to Ethics. Aside from this attack, cell phone videos show him hitting multiple Trump supporters in the head, injuring at least 3 people.
My position is that communities have the right to defend themselves against groups that actively seek to eliminate members of that community.
Defend themselves against violence, or defend themselves
against violence? I mean, we were talking about
but physical violence. So
yes,
if I say, for example,
we're talking about a history, a group that has a history of enacting hate crimes. Yeah, no, we're not. Are we going to pretend like we're suddenly in this ahistorical world where Dylan Roof or Wade Michael Page doesn't exist, where Anders Breivik doesn't exist? Are you kidding me?
Let's just, I want to know, like, the concept of self-defense is a legal concept, but it's also got, like, a long history and tradition in common law. So the idea is if I'm hitting you, if I strike you physically, if I physically commit violence against you, you have a right to commit violence back in order to protect yourself or your property.
Sure.
But you're seeming to say that anybody who has espoused ideas that have at some point in history led to violence can be the subject of violence from you. You're not saying that.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I believe it is the right for communities to get together to assess what is a threat to them and to defend themselves against that threat. I mean, ultimately, we're talking about a movement that actively advocates against all the fetters of democracy. I mean, we're talking about Richard Spencer, who publishes in altright.com, publishes an article on July 28th by a man named Vincent Law, where the headline was, "To protect free speech, get rid of democracy." We really have to...
You know what? Okay, so let's use that example. I disagree with that. I haven't seen the piece, but it doesn't sound like something I'd agree with.
It's not.
Does Richard Spencer have a right to speak in public?
Richard Spencer is a danger to society. When he speaks in public, what he is doing, he is publicly recruiting people to his very violent movement, very violent ideology.
So does he have a right to speak in public?
I don't think he has a right to speak in public unopposed, and that is ultimately what the purpose of Antifa is to show up and oppose him.
But it's not opposition. You shut people down, you prevent them from speaking, and you commit violence against them.
Absolutely.
I know a number of people, well, don't tell me it's untrue, I know people who have been knocked down and beaten by people from Antifa. So that is true. It does happen. We have it on tape. We just roll the tape.
Right.
So you're saying, is that justified?
Yes.
Last question. Do you teach students?
I do.
Huh. And do you teach them that the First Amendment does not apply to people they disagree with?
I teach them to think critically, and that's why I'm very open about my anti-fascism and my anarchism.
So you think everyone who supports Trump is a Nazi?
Let me think about it.
Yes.
Am I a Nazi?
Wow.
I could be a Nazi.
Wow.
And I know that.
You're
be
saying
a Nazi.
No, you're ignorant.
I'm ignorant.
Wow.
Okay, so here's what happened.
Get it over with. Go. Get out of our city. Go. March. We're now our city. You're now welcome here.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Hey, San Francisco is still...
Black people aren't welcome here? Black people aren't welcome here?
What's the way to defeat the Nazis in the U.S.?
Violence. Trotsky said it best. Find your Nazis, beat them, take them of their Nazi paraphernalia, and then leave them alive, hurting and bleeding in their cowardice.
Same way we dealt with them in World War II. Kill them. There's no other way.
Captain America punches Nazis. Indiana Jones punches Nazis. My grandfather went and killed Nazis in Normandy, and he was a hero. So why is it any differently? Now the Nazis are actually on our doorstep.
Those people could be potential perpetrators of hate crimes. I'm a libertarian communist. I don't believe in authoritarianism.
I'm a full-born Lenin communist.
He killed a lot of people. A lot of people died from him.
Okay, how many people died from capitalism?
How many?
Exactly. We have yet to have a perfect communist state. It hasn't happened yet. That doesn't mean we shouldn't push for it. Have you watched Star Trek? Star Trek is a communist utopia. That's what happens when communism wins.
Stalin would be a hell of a lot better than Trump.
Stalin would be better than Trump.
Yes, he would.
You know who's better than Jesus? Joseph Stalin. You know who's better than Jesus? Joseph Stalin.
How many people did Stalin kill? How many people did Jesus kill? That's kind of a stupid thing to say.
Well, here, come on. Let me explain. Joseph Stalin starts killing off people, starts killing off Christians, people from the Ukraine.
So how does that make him a good guy?
He's okay with killing Christians. I'm okay with killing anybody from any right-handed religion. I'm okay with killing anybody from any right-handed religion.
Stalin killed tons of blacks.
Actually, what happened was a lot of black people moved from the U.S. over to the USSR for racial equality. A lot of black people moved from the U.S. over to the USSR for racial equality. That happened. No, research it. It happened. All right, brother. Stalin was killing people who were against communism and the Bolsheviks.
Yeah, and anybody that he says he's against anybody, he murders. That's not cool. That's what you want, bro. That's crazy.
Thanks for stopping by.
The state serves the economic base. It enforces that. And you can't pass laws in violation of that without ripping up the foundation underneath it. That's why you need a revolution. Just hold with me there. That's why you need a revolution. Now, here's where your second thing is wrong. You say that a revolution can't work against the state. I will grant you that it is very, very, very difficult. And it is what a lot of the revolutionary movements in the 60s broke their backs on. They could not figure out how you go up against this massive military power of the state. This is one of the tremendous breakthroughs that Avakian has made in developing and advancing the strategy for revolution. And people should get into it. It's not any day of the week that you can create you can make a revolution, but there are conditions that can come together, certain kinds of crisis, where there is enough arousal of the masses of people, where there's enough fighting among the rulers, where there's enough weaknesses among them, that you can actually, and if you have built up the organization, prepared the ground, prepared the people, and prepared the leadership, where you can have a go at leading millions to wage a revolution. That is possible. No empire lasts forever.
Recently revealed FBI field reports have revealed that Antifa supporters have stored improvised explosives on campuses at college.
You're gonna take the knife.
Did you bring your gun? I have like on the border between just a regular rifle and an assault weapon and a sawed-off style shotgun.
But I've got a handgun. Yeah, we got 2 AKs.
And members of Antifa have also met with Islamic terrorists to obtain weapons and training.
January 3rd, 2017, Representative Keith Ellison, Democrat, tweeted out this semi-literate, unhinged tweet in support of Antifa. Ellison is the first Muslim elected into Congress and the first Muslim congressman.
He is deputy chair of the Democratic National Committee. He nearly won the chairmanship outright last year. He's a champion still of the party's progressive wing. He's a great favorite of the grassroots. He deserves to be regarded as one of the Democratic Party's top thought leaders.
And this guy's holding up the books and basically seeming to say, sounds great. This is going to really help us in our fight against Trump.
The author is a man named Mark Bray, and he writes that violence is, quote, a small though vital sliver of anti-fascist activity. Elsewhere in the text, he approvingly quotes an Antifa activist who says this of his political opponents, quote, "You fight them with fists so you don't have to fight them with knives. You fight them with knives so you don't have to fight them with guns. You fight them with guns so you don't have to fight them with tanks." Back in 1989, Ellison wrote that the Constitution existed only for white people. He referred to it as, quote, their Constitution, calling it, quote, the best evidence of a white racist conspiracy to subjugate other peoples. This is the man who is now second in command of the entire Democratic Party.
So the question is, like, once that is out there, who remains supporting of the DNC? Right? Who supports him? Well, the DNC, I don't know, the guy's not been fired. They haven't disavowed. They haven't distanced themselves. They haven't said, no, that's crazy. This is a terrorist organization. We want this guy should be fired. And then we got to figure out how on earth he ended up in that position and why nobody noticed that he was going to end up doing this. No, there hasn't been any of that. Finally, I hope we can get to a place where we can very clearly see what the hell is going on.
I'm walking. Yeah, the fuck you are! Hey? Keep walking.